My opponent says, "You're an idiot. I'm just going to keep taking pawns." I was able to regain that advantage by swindling him. This game features one of my favorite and most aggressive openings that I play and a very, very strong opponent. It's a total back and forth game. Stick to the end, see who wins. So from this game, I've got 3 main lessons learned. You'll see along as we go. Okay, let's see what kind of trouble we could get into. I'm opening up with e4 right now. We have a Sicilian defense. I have 2 main openings against this. One, if he had played knight to c6, I play the Rossolimo. I have an opening video out on that. This other one, if he plays literally anything else, I get to play the Wing Gambit. Also have an opening video out on that. It's one of my favorite openings. Let's see how this develops. The idea of the Wing Gambit is he captures away from the center. I offer another pawn, which typically my opponent will accept. And now I have this big center. And my moves are going to be very natural from here on out. I am going to bring my bishop here to d3 in most cases. When this pawn is attacked, usually by the knight, if the knight moves here, he's going to be threatening this bishop. Then I play c3 to really lock down that center. You can see here that I'm going to be pushing e5 at some point. It would be really good if my opponent plays here and locks that center that way, giving me this big, big kingside attack. That happens quite often. And now the fun part is if my opponent does decide to go over onto the kingside, which he often does, I am preparing to already be there with my attack. Okay, so I think my first lesson learned right here, I do have this h4 move very commonly that I like to play, but against this fianchetto variation, h3, castles, bring my rook up, and come up with a little bit of a different plan in order to break this down. I still have this large central control. It's still going to be a little bit difficult for this bishop to enter the game. I'll be able to recapture this pawn and then target these vulnerable queenside pawns. Everything is going to be going over to the king side. Let's see how my opponent plays it. If he gives up his bishop for my knight and helps me develop, I have a couple options to develop. I could even consider doubling here to open up a file. That's an interesting move. I haven't really seen that before. Do not want a queen trade. That would be a disaster. I'm going to do this. His queen is likely coming over this way. I guess he is forking me right here because he is threatening this pawn as well. Maybe not the world's easiest pawn to capture. Next major lesson here. I do see this capture and this fork, and I think to myself, you know what? This seems really dangerous to allow this, but I need to calculate just a little bit further, understand, I already gave up one pawn. I'm going to give up a second pawn right here. And is my attack really strong enough to break through this giant fortress? In this case, it's not. So even though it looks fun, I need to be a little bit more patient. It's a very interesting approach. He's fianchettoing. He is bringing his pieces also over to the king side. I think he's got a decent idea here. Let's see if he does take this g2 pawn. It seems a little bit, I guess, much. He's not so worried about it, which is cool. Definitely seems more logical and was the original plan. Here. It's an interesting idea. I don't know if it's very good. I also want this move at some point too. Bring this here. There's a potential where I don't want this knight, jumping over here to h5. This move is going to allow me to play h5 right now and potentially break through. liking generally where this is going. So we have bishops of opposite color. We have a dark bishop versus a light bishop. So that typically means whoever gets their attack first has an advantage. I am not worried about losing this pawn and opening up that. I think my opponent will not be worrying about that. So he's got 2 defenders. I've got 2 attackers. I could add my knight also as an attacker, my bishop as an attacker. I feel like I have not quite enough. And I'm wanting to push here next. If captures, then captures, and or this captures. This opens up everything. I'm going all in on the attack. It is potentially not advised. Let's see how it goes. What's better to have here? Is it better to have my light squared bishop or to have my knight to try to culminate this attack? Well, he's weak on the light squares because I want to... This seems good, but he can just push here. This is definitely better because now I get this type of attack going for h7, and it's going to be difficult for my opponent's king to escape, I think. This is threatening mate. Yeah, he does have that check. I feel like I'm close, and I wish I knew I had it. Just don't know if I do or not. This move's possible. Oh no. I think I like this. If check here, 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 or here, and I'm threatening mate there. So I think I like this. And then otherwise, if the queen moves, I potentially have... No, I don't have that capture. Okay, I'm seeing ghosts that don't exist. How do I... Yeah, this check, this here. And now... Oh, dang it. With that, then my queen is still not where it needs to be. I would love this. I think that definitely benefits me. Okay. My opponent says, "You're an idiot. I'm just going to keep taking pawns," which, fair. I'm going to block off his queen. I am potentially threatening, well, I am threatening this, which would win his queen. I am assuming my opponent is not going to fall for that. I can't, like I would like to, move my king here because, well, I can. I was worried about, getting pinned, but his bishop is pinned. Oh, man, there's a lot going on. I don't have any idea if I've got anything here. This move is threatening his bishop here and here. I don't know if it is enough. I am down so much material. How did I get down this much material? I'm down 6 points. So it is kind of checkmate or nothing. I'm also down on time. It's not quite checkmate or nothing. I need to win a lot of material back. Does this sacrifice work? Check has to capture, otherwise this is checkmate. So check has to capture back. Check. I think it has to work. I don't know if it does work. I just feel like it should, and I'm hopeful. And actually, yeah, because if he recaptures here, this is check. He has to give up his rook because don't do something crazy to me. Okay, cool. So my opponent's giving up his queen because he feels like he has to. I've got this now. This is checkmate. Let's go, dude. Wait, is that not checkmate? Oh. I really thought it was checkmate. That's okay. This is threatening checkmate to come back here. So, there's got to be some mating net here. This is check. This is check. I'm doing this wrong. There's no mating net here. What am I thinking? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me finish this. I got 22 seconds left, and then I will come back here and try to make some sense of something after this. I don't know if I could win. Dang it. Frustrating. That's a bummer. And I think the last main lesson here kind of ties into the second one is of patience. I can't grab this knight. I need to slowly bring my king over and get my opponent to run out of squares to go to. Easier said than done with a little bit of time on the clock, but I just need to be a little bit more patient. So all that said, I think against the Wing Gambit, this type of setup seems to kind of work out okay. Could consider it in your games. This is critical blunder right here. This capture right here just is begging to be played. And right here, his king's supposed to just go for it instead. His king is supposed to come over here. I think my idea was this, but the computer's saying, just, get out of the way. You'll be fine. This is very, very similar to what was played in the game. However, in this case, if I capture right here, this comes with check and my opponent still has a queen. And obviously, the end didn't quite make it the way that I wanted it to, but, that's okay. Can't win them all, unfortunately. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. If you are a beginner to chess, check out my How to Blunder Less video. I've got a really fun theme kind of warped throughout. I think you'll really enjoy it. Have a great night, guys. I will see you around here soon.